Now, I know the first thing that most of you are going to want to do is start working on this image. Make it look better, right? Ah, it's all washed out. Doesn't look good, Scotchko. Yeah, I know. Well, should we start? What should we do first? Do we ever work on the back? Ever do we work on the background layer? No, 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 no. So the first thing we do, you can drag this thing down to that little icon to add a new layer, or you can use the first of many Photoshop shortcuts. We're going to jump this layer to a new layer. Command J for jump. Command J. Boom. Now our background layer is protected. We have a brand new layer. Are we going to work on this? This is pixels. We're going to work non-destructively. Now I'm going to teach you shortcuts because when I do this, I just go like this and this. And then I'm in camera raw and ooh, all kinds of cool stuff happens. I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to hit undo, Command Z, because you don't have that shortcut yet. You might have saw it on the screen, but it doesn't exist in your Photoshop. Right click, we're going to set up custom shortcuts. And I have no idea where this is. Convert to Smart Object. You right click on the layer, not the icon out here, Right click, convert to Smart Object. See that little thing in the corner? That means this is a smart object. Anything we do to it will not affect the pixels. This is bonus, this is killer. And you might say, hey, how come we're not doing it on the background layer? Because we never ever work on the background layer because everyone makes mistakes. This is our safety valve. All right. Then we're going to take this into camera raw. With this layer selected, the smart object selected, we're going to come up to filter and camera raw filter right there. And you see I have a shortcut and it's different. You have a shortcut there, but your shortcut is different. I'm going to explain why I changed that later. Now we're in camera raw and I don't know where you end up here in this. I have effects open. It's probably the last place I've been. Go to basic. Whoa, look at all the sliders. Whoa, so cool. I just want to start pulling on them. Yeah, you can do that. We're going to talk about all of these things in the future. I'm just going to show you the very basic. If I'm in a hurry and I just want to do something quick, I'll come down to Dehaze right here and pull this slider to the right. Notice how we're getting more density. You don't want to go too far because then it gets blown out. All this enhancement is always take it just a little bit. Clarity is going to sharpen up some edges. It's going to give you some more detail. Now, you can see I've got a shallow depth of field here, and this is kind of thrown out of focus. I'm focused here, and this is all out of focus back here. This is intentional. I wanted this type of photo. We can play around with the rest of this. You can see you can change the exposure after the fact. How cool is that? The other thing I did do was go under effects, and because, the image is kind of gritty, I went ahead and added some grain. And as soon as you start adding grain, you can see that you can change the size and the roughness. You got all kinds of control here. And then there's vignetting. There's a better way to add a vignette. A vignette is darkening or lightening the outside of the picture, which brings your eye into the center. The key on a vignette is if you do it so much that you can see it, well, that's terrible. You don't want to know it's there. You want to add it so that it brings your eye into the center, but you can't really look at it and say, oh man, look at that vignette. Look at that thing, man. That's just terrible. That looks awful. So you want to be subtle about it. And then you might say, well, what have we done? I can't remember. Hit the letter P. P for preview. There's before, there's after. That's just after a minute or so in here. There's so much more we can do. You click OK, and then watch what happens in the layer stack. We now have our camera raw filter down here. We can actually use, this is a layer mask. We can paint with black to hide some of the effects out here. But right now, if you decide, oh, it's a little too much, I want to back off that vignette, I think I took it too far. Well, you double click right here on the camera raw filter, and you go to the vignette and you just back it off a little bit. And then click OK. Non-destructive editing. This is the coolest thing in the world to help you work on your images without destroying pixels. We're going to learn so much more about this and the layer stack and how to work in Photoshop using shortcuts. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. It's going to be so much fun. Turn that off. Whoa. Different, huh? Have some fun.